So in this video we're going to dismantle, clean and reassemble the carbs on a 76 Kawasaki KZ 750. Usual disclaimer, this is the way I do it. If you don't like to do it this way, if you don't think it's the right way, don't do it how I do it your way. So let's start working through the carbs. Let's do it sequentially. First thing, we'll see the condition of the slides. And as you can see on this carb, it's absolutely jam solid. This side's free of moving, but we'll still check it out obviously. So next up, let's have a look at the throttle mechanism and the butterflies. Again, jammed solid, not moving. Obviously if the mechanism doesn't move, the butterflies can't move either. Where possible, I want to keep both the cabs as one unit. Then we can then focus on the internals, clearing the jets. This particular setup, this particular bar I should say, try and keep it in place. I think we're going to have to bring them off because it links to the float bowls, and I'm sure we're probably going to have to take out the choke mechanism. Get rid of the junky old fuel lines. For the purpose of demonstration, I'll just work on one carb. The other carb, of course, is just about the same process. So firstly, let's take off the carb tops. In addition to the screws on the tops of the carbs, this bar has to be removed as well for the tops to come away from the carb bodies. So let's dismantle. Start by getting the tops off. Just support that so you guys hopefully can see what's going on a little bit better. So for the cap, and obviously there's a spring behind there. Spring looks intact, which is a good thing. So we'll come back and clean that a bit later. The diaphragm looks to be intact, so very carefully remove, sort of very gently peeling it away from the body. Also trying to release that slide that was stuck. Not a great deal of success at the moment. Even levering against it with a screwdriver isn't working. This is probably the third application of carb cleaner, but we'll give it a good spray, then we'll leave it and see if that's going to help free up that slide. While hopefully the carb cleaner is working its magic, let's start taking off the float ball. The float ball would not come off by hand, so they're using a rubber persuader. And off she comes. Wow, great googly moogly. This carb is in bad condition. It's really gummed up. Let's see if I can get it a bit closer to the camera so you guys can see what I can see. So firstly, removing the hinge pin that supports the float mechanism. And that's getting dropped into carb cleaner. I'm not sure we can really call these floats anymore. I think it's a long time since these bad boys have floated. The amount of, I can only use the word crap on these is unbelievable. beginning to wish I'd bought shares in STP carb cleaner. So not only is the float needle stuck in there and jammed, also the pin, the sprung pin, is jammed as well. Well, as you can see, I can't depress it even with a screwdriver. So let's remove the housing. Again, I don't think you can see, but that's really gummed up. And drop those into carb cleaner as well. Let's have a look at the state of the float balls. Start by getting the needle jet out. Fortunately, this one has come out quite easily. These can be a real bear to get out sometimes. Typically they're seized in there, and if someone's tried in the past, quite often the screw fixing is worn or it snaps off and are very difficult to get out. So eventually I did manage to get the stuck slide out. Took the other carb to pieces as well, took any of the jets out. I did in the end have to take the choke plunges out because they're part of the mechanism on them is rubber, and I didn't want to put that through the ultrasonic. So the ultrasonic cleaner has worked its magic. I've actually run it through twice. I also run the floats through there as well, just to do them clean. I've also cleaned a lot up again with carb cleaner, just to be on the safe side. I've built one of the carbs. Well, I'll show you as we work through the next one. You can see there the mechanism now is super smooth, super slinky. Slide moves up and down really nicely. The mic probably won't pick this up, but you get that kind of whooshing sound as the diaphragm moves. Again, the mechanism, the throttle mechanism, super slidey. There's also a little bit of PTFE lubricant gone on there as well on the joints. So not in any particular order, but let's start assembling the carb. So let's refit the slide and diaphragm first. It can only fit in one way. That there's, I suppose, an indent you'd say on the carb body and a tab on the diaphragm that helps it locate and make sure it's in the correct position. In with the spring, don't forget that. And then back on with the carb top, and again the carb top can only go on one way. This rail then needs to be refitted. You can probably see that it locates well on the carb tops through those two screws there and there. Couple of screws then return that rail to the carb bodies. Just check that the slide is free moving, and in particular that it drops back quickly, and yep, this one does. I did at the end take the air screws out before it went through the ultrasonic, so again quick clean up in some carb cleaner and we can reinstall those on each of the carbs. We'll dial the carbs in fully when they're back on the bike and the engine's running, but for now, just to give a principle setting, we wind the screw in till it's very gently at home and then back it out 1.5 turns. So if you cast your mind back to the first part of the video, how bunged up this needle was. Also the spring now is now a spring, nice and springy there. Clean off the tip, it's all good man, good to go. Old school tip or trick for cleaning the housing. There's a CQ tip in there with some metal polish on, doesn't have to be mother's. So grab a clean Q-tip, put it in a power drill. And clean and polish the interior of that housing. So the bore is nice and shiny. Quick blast out with some carb cleaner so there's no deposits in there. Check to see that everything as it should be. As you can see, that pin is freely moving. Also super smooth, super slippery, because we need those components to move freely. So job done with that aspect of it. Refit the housing. Just gently, just finger tight down. I mean, these are brass fittings, by the way. I should have said I did put a new washer on there as well. Just slip that back in. Start to reinstall the now super clean floats. I did check for any leaks and there's no leaks in the floats. My fear was there was that much crap on it. It could have been hiding some leaks, but it wasn't. Nice and springy, so floats doing what they should do hopefully. When the carbs are fully assembled, we'll go back and check the fuel height with an external tube. But for now, just to set the carb up, what experience tells me is that typically if the float arms are parallel to the body, that's normally enough to get the bike up and running. So let's get this thoroughly clean main jet back in the housing. Put the float ball itself back on the main body of the carb. So that's it, it's done. Proof of the pudding of course is when it's back on the bike and if the bike will run, but just checking through it, it's all good man, all good to go. Please watch out for the other videos we're doing in this series regarding the KZ. If you do me a big favour, if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, which is the Jolly Boy logo, and well, watch out for the next video, and bye for now.